Okay, let's unpack this. If you're like most people, you probably hold your phone vertically, what, like 95% of the time?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Right, well, there's now this multi-billion-dollar entertainment industry built specifically for that vertical view, watched in like 1-minute bursts.
Exact.
We're diving deep today into this whole phenomenon. People call them vertical dramas or microdramas. And look, this isn't just some small trend. It feels more like a content gold rush, doesn't it? Traditional Hollywood seems to be scrambling a bit.
They really are. The speed is key.
Yeah, the speed. That's the core hook, right? These shows are just optimized for grabbing you instantly, right on your phone. There's this French-Taiwanese producer, Vincent Wang. He absolutely nailed it. He called the format a soap opera on cocaine.
That quote is everywhere. And honestly, comparing it to just soap operas almost undersells how disruptive this is.
Really? How so?
Well, think about it. Vertical dramas are these super short series. We're talking 1, maybe 2 minutes per episode.
Tiny episodes.
Tiny. And filmed vertically, specifically for your phone screen, designed so you just binge them, like right then and there.
Okay.
And globally, this is already an $8 billion industry.
$8 billion for these little vertical shows.
Yeah. And, to give you some context for that number, if you look at China, which is kind of the most mature market for this stuff.
Right.
The money made from this vertical content in 2024, it actually beat the entire country's movie box office revenue.
Wait, hold on. More than all the movies released in cinemas in China.
Correct. It went over 50 billion yuan. That's about, what, 6.9 billion US dollars? So this isn't some niche thing anymore. It's a primary way people are getting entertained.
Wow, that velocity is, well, it's incredible. So, okay, our mission today for you listening is to give you the shortcut. We want you to understand this revolution. We're going to cover where it came from, those hyper-efficient Chinese origins. Then the business model, which is pretty radical, this pay-as-you-go thing driving billions. Then the intense reality of actually making these things, the production. And finally, what this whole vertical shift means for actors and maybe the future of TV itself.
Sounds good. And yeah, to understand how fast this all happened, you really have to start in China. Microdramas, they call them duanju there. They first popped up in the 2010s. At first, it was pretty simple stuff, often just amateurs shooting videos, sharing them on Douyin, that's TikTok's counterpart in Kuaishou.
So kind of user-generated content initially.
Exactly. But the big change, the real accelerator, was 2020, 2021, the pandemic.
Right. Everyone on their phones.
Everyone on their phones, yeah. And it massively boosted that existing trend for short videos. Big companies jumped in fast. They saw they could make quick money producing these, well, let's be honest, often hastily shot, cheaply made microdramas designed purely to go viral.
And that financial speed, that momentum, it seems to have just utterly exploded here in the U.S. market now.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Check this out. The revenue for microdramas reportedly jumped from $23 million in January 2024 to a massive $122 million just 12 months later, January 2025.
Whoa. $23 million to $122 million in 1 year. Okay, see, that's not a trend. That's a gold rush. You said it before, and that confirms it.
Right.
And you see it right away in the app stores. You look at the charts, these platforms like Real Short, Drama Box, Good Short, they're the big microdrama apps in the U.S. Together, they grabbed about half of all the downloads in this category year to date. In 2025, they're just dominating people's phone screens.
If the market's moving that fast, the content has to keep pace. Which I guess brings us to the plots themselves.
Yeah, the actual stories.
They seem to rely almost entirely on these very specific, almost like addictive genre tropes, don't they?
Totally.
You mentioned soap opera on cocaine. We're talking really kitschy plots, right?
Yeah.
Werewolves, forbidden love affairs, super rich billionaires.
Oh, yeah. The classic hits.
The sources we looked at had some truly memorable titles. I feel like we have to share a few. Get this. Loving My Brother's Best Friend.
Okay. Standard trope.
Mated to My Savage Alpha.
Savage Alpha, of course.
And my personal favorite, Pregnant Heiress, Pampered by 5 Uncles.
Wow. Pampered by 5 uncles. That's specific.
Isn't it?
But the key thing with those titles, you notice, it's the instant drama. There's zero subtlety.
Right.
A director named Weiyang Li made a great point. This content, it caters to an audience that's maybe, quote, exhausted from their life already.
Exhausted.
Yeah. So you don't need complex stories or like deep character development. You just need that quick hit, that dopamine shot of an emotional payoff. instantly.
And that need for instant gratification, that leads straight into the business model, which feels, well, radical compared to streaming as we know it.
It's a completely different game.
They're competing for those 5 minutes you have while scrolling TikTok or Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Not asking for hours like Netflix or HBO. It's a totally different battlefield.
That's such a critical distinction to make. The business model is, on the surface, simple, but it's fiercely effective because it's all about getting maximum investment from you for minimum viewing time.
How does that work?
They give you the first, say, 6 to 12 mini episodes for free.
Okay, the bait.
Exactly. That's the hook. Just enough to get you emotionally invested, usually right before a big cliffhanger.
Ah, the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So if the content is purely designed to stop you doom scrolling, how aggressive are they with that paywall then? Walk us through how someone ends up spending, say, $50 on one of these short series.
Well, once you're hooked by those free episodes, bam, you hit the paywall. You have to pay to keep watching.
Okay, per episode or...
Often, yeah, or you buy bundles of coins or credits. And people frequently end up spending anywhere from like $15 up to maybe $50 just to finish one series, which might only be an hour or so total. So the writing itself, it has to be absolutely laser-focused. Intense emotion, constant twists, breakneck speed, all to justify you reaching for your wallet every few minutes.
That pressure must be insane.
Totally. Ann Chan, she's a founder at AR Asia Production. She summed up the style they need perfectly. It has to be sweet, short, and sharp.
Sweet, short, and sharp.
Yeah.
So every single installment, even if it's barely a minute long, has to pack its own punch, its own twist or cliffhanger. It sounds like writing purely for conversion.
It basically is. And data runs the whole show, which is where it gets really industrial, you know?
How so?
Well, production often kicks off before the scripts are even finished.
Really?
Yeah. The companies watch the viewing data like hawks. What plot points make viewers pay? What scenes cause them to drop off and scroll away?
Okay, so they're A/B testing drama in real time.
Pretty much. And once they find something that works, a specific trope, a type of cliffhanger, they can just churn out dozens more shows using that exact formula within months.
Wow. We even saw a screenwriter from a company called Flareflow confirm they sometimes use AI, like artificial intelligence, to brainstorm ideas or fill in plot gaps.
Right. Which, you know, raises this pretty big question, doesn't it? Is this kind of the end of the auteur, the unique creative voice? If the data tells you that, I don't know, a savage alpha werewolf character sells way better than some thoughtful, complex, romantic lead.
You just make more savage alphas.
You just make savage alphas, exactly. This very industrial, algorithm-driven content model. It really changes what we think of as creativity. It favors the proven formula overtaking any kind of unique narrative risk.
And that obsession with optimization, with data and speed, that brings us to the disruption it's causing right now in Hollywood's job market.
Or just mesh.
Huge.
Right.
Since about 2023, a lot of these super efficient vertical drama platforms, many of them Chinese run originally, they've set up shop right here in the U.S. And they started hiring thousands of talented people, filmmakers, actors, folks who were suddenly short of work because of Hollywood's own strikes and, you know, all the budget cuts and belt tightening lately.
So it was like a lifeline for some people. Absolutely. It provided immediate work, an immediate answer for creatives who needed to pay the bills.
Okay, so if that's the pressure on the writers and that's the need for speed, the pressure on the budget must be even crazier. How do they possibly keep production costs low enough to make money so fast?
Well, interestingly, it's kind of built into the format itself, the vertical shot.
How does that save money?
Think about it. When you shoot vertically for a phone, you see much less of the background on either side of the actors, right?
You get a narrow frame.
Exactly. Less background showing means you need less set dressing. It's cheaper. You might even need fewer crew members to manage lights or props outside that narrow frame. Efficiency and frugality are literally designed into the shot.
That makes sense.
And this efficiency leads to that staggering contrast in production timelines we talked about. Producer Vincent Wang, again, he noted that these vertical outfits can get a show conceptualized, shot, and ready in 30 days.
30 days.
Or even wrap shooting in as little as 5 days.
5 days for a whole series?
Yeah.
Compared to what, like 2 years for a traditional Hollywood show?
Exactly. From script to screen in Hollywood can easily take 2 years or more. So Wang asks this really provocative question. Who is the future?
Yeah, that kind of turnaround time is just, it's mind-boggling. So, okay, what's it actually like for the people working on these shows, the ones who jumped on this incredibly fast-moving train.
Well, reports suggest they're finding maybe not artistic fulfillment in the traditional sense, but definitely stability.
Okay.
There's an AFI grad, Lily Lyon, graduated in 2024, was pretty anxious about finding work. She landed regular gigs as an assistant director on these shows, including, yes, pregnant heiress pampered by 5 uncles.
She worked on that one.
Apparently so. And she said the biggest plus is just the constancy. Quote, "They're happening all the time. There's always another show starting up."
Constant work is huge. But the content itself, it often seems to present a kind of moral dilemma for people, doesn't it?
It definitely can. There was an actor, Zachary Shadrin, making his debut in a show called Love Through All Seasons. He admitted he initially found the whole genre, the concepts, kind of toxic.
Toxic how?
He mentioned titles like Dominated by My Dad's Boss as examples of the uncomfortable power dynamics often central to the plots. He was grateful for the work, the financial opportunity, but yeah, he acknowledged the content itself can be challenging to engage with.
Right.
And another actor, Nicholas McDonald, he sort of summed up the professional reality for a lot of them. He said everyone kind of chuckles at some of the lines that are absolutely ridiculous when they first read the scripts. But on set, everyone's professional. Why? Because, quote, there is money behind it.
Money talks.
And for many actors still developing their careers, that typical pay rate, around $500 a day, that's often a much higher wage than they get on other non-union jobs. It offers a crucial financial lifeline.
Okay, that financial stability is important, but it sounds like it comes with a pretty significant dark side. We need to talk about the labor conditions. Beyond just the sometimes questionable content, those billionaires' forbidden loves, werewolves, which often feature pretty toxic, abusive relationships, right? Violent male leads seem common.
Very common. And that patricity, unfortunately, can sometimes mirror the conditions people face making the shows.
How so?
Well, these sets are overwhelmingly non-union.
Okay.
Which generally means lower pay than union jobs, fewer protections, and potentially incredibly grueling shooting schedules. Think about the pressure. Shoot a 60-episode series, even mini-episodes, in just 5 days. Physical and emotional limits get pushed hard.
And there seems to be a real disparity in that workload, especially hitting women harder. We saw actress Sarah Priebus reported on this.
Yeah, she highlighted a significant gender disparity, both in pay sometimes and definitely in the physical and emotional labor demanded.
What did she find?
Well, another actress, Molly Anderson, described it pretty vividly. She said female actors are often expected to, and this is a quote, scream, cry, throw up on command, and then run off to go get waterboarded.
Waterboarded? Metaphorically, I assume?
One hopes. But meaning they're constantly pushed to these extreme emotional states needed for those endless cliffhangers. While, she noted, their male co-stars often just have to stand in the back, brood.
Wow.
But they still might get paid more.
Stand in the back, brood, and get paid more. That's quite the image.
It really is. It's the reality of hyper-efficient production crashing into non-union labor practices.
And this lack of standards, this whole situation, is why SAG-AFTRA, the main actors union, is now stepping in, right?
Exactly. It's a major development. They've announced they're creating a brand new agreement specifically designed for these vertical productions, ones costing $300,000 or less.
Okay, what's the goal there?
The goal is to bring established union standards, fair compensation, safety protocols, reasonable work hours into this wild west of microdrama production. It's a huge move because it sort of legitimizes the space.
It acknowledges it's real and here to stay.
Precisely. It's the first time the union is really engaging directly with this whole vertical platform economy.
But there's always a but, isn't there? Actors like Sarah Priebus, they expressed some worry.
Yeah, the concern is, will these companies, the ones built entirely on speed and cutting costs, actually accept these new union requirements?
Or will they just move production somewhere else, maybe overseas, to avoid the costs and rules?
That's the fear. It's the big test, really. Can you impose quality standards and fair labor practices on a model that's defined by breakneck speed and ruthless efficiency? We don't know yet.
Which kind of brings us back to the big picture, the synthesis here. These vertical dramas, they're clearly not just some niche, fleeting trend anymore.
No way.
They feel like they're, as one source put it, creeping out from the shadows. And they seem to be forcing the entire entertainment industry, writers, studios, everyone to rethink workflows, budgets, even storytelling itself. all around the demands of that little vertical screen in your hand.
The efficiency is just undeniable. There was a media analyst quoted who said, yeah, okay, microdramas probably aren't winning Emmys anytime soon.
Probably not.
But, he warned, it would be unwise for the mainstream industry to look down upon this corner.
Don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it. Because the power of this format is its sheer, ruthless efficiency at capturing your attention. Especially during those passive moments, those in-between times in your day.
Like waiting for coffee.
Exactly. Waiting in line, riding the subway. You can consume an entire dramatic story arc in tiny bites. It offers maximum entertainment utility for minimum time investment.
So here's the final thought for you to chew on. Given how incredibly successful these vertical dramas have become at optimizing storytelling for instant gratification, for that 5-day turnaround, is this rapid, data-driven, maybe even AI-assisted model destined to conquer more than just your scrolling time? Could it eventually reshape all future consumption of entertainment, maybe leaving those traditional, slower-paced, more complex storytelling models behind? Something to think about next time you pick up your phone.